What's going on, everyone? So, I've been thinking, Lakers really making an emphasis and a point to develop the young guys, right? They want to be this program. They want to really kind of start growing the young talent that they have as like the next wave. Bring in kind of almost like the college route, right? Every few years rather than every year, right? You have these wave of talent where guys are going to phase themselves out or price themselves out or, not be the guys that you expected them to be or whatever, right? There's a million reasons why players end up going elsewhere or out of league or whatever, right? It's like, okay, well, now you have the next wave. When the Rui and Vando and, D'Los and all these guys, LeBron and AD, when those guys fade out, boom, here you go. Now you got the Max Christies, the Dalton Knecht, the Jalen Hood-Schifinos, all of those guys kind of pick up the slack. But really thinking about it, like how good is our young talent? Now, I don't think we have, the some of the best young talent in the league, right? You look at teams like OKC and, even Detroit has some pretty interesting guys, as bad as they have been. They have some like real, like, okay, maybe potential star play. But you look at some of the other teams in the league and their young talent, and it's like we have a long way to go, right? So I wanted to kind of talk about and give my opinion on kind of where I rank these guys. Now, I'm not going to be talking about Rui and Reeves and D'Lo and all these guys, right? Because one, a lot of these guys might end up getting traded. Two, a lot of these guys, they're older, right? They're 25, 27. They're on their way. They're not really the future. They're, kind of now. They're part of this LeBron and AD timeline, and we'll see what happens after. Even Austin Reeves is getting up there as far as age goes. He's not like old, but he's not 22, 23 to where it's like, okay, like, he's going to be developed for the next 3 seasons, right? Reeves is closer to his ceiling than he is his floor, right? He's 26 years old. So again, even guys like, Colin Castleton and, Blake Henson, again, older guys that are, I think, closer to their ceiling than their floor. Talk about the young guys that in which they are. Now, there's only 3 guys that I really think have potential star, all-star level talent. Now, will they actually be that or reach those heights? That is yet to be seen. But there's only 3 guys that I really look at and I go, man, like, they could be special. And then I think that there's 2 that kind of have the potential, right? But let's get into it, right? Starting off, Dalton Knecht and Max Christie, right? I am incredibly high on Max Christie, probably higher than most, if not everyone. I just see him really as a versatile two-way player that can put the ball on the deck, score for himself. I mean, he already might be our second best on-ball defender next to Jared Vanderbilt. I mean, he had some incredibly tough defensive assignments last season and was absolute money. Now, he still has a long way to go. He's still got to kind of grow into his grown man body, put on some muscle, put on some weight, right? He still is learning to be better disciplined, positioning, things like that. But he's also still incredibly young. I mean, he's young enough to be drafted in this year's draft. For example, the Lakers drafted Dalton Knecht, and Max Christie is 2 years younger than Dalton Knecht. So again, Max Christie is younger than the guy the Lakers just drafted in this past draft. And Max Christie, I think, has already shown the abilities to do a little bit of everything out there, right? Again, defensively, he's been excellent, but he's shown the ability to make the occasional play, right? Put the ball on the deck and create for himself. He's shown the ability to be a legit 3-level scorer. And I think as he continues to evolve and hopefully JJ Redick kind of instills that confidence in him of like, hey, you can do this, right? He's shown that he has the ability to shoot over the top, to shoot off the dribble, right? To catch and shoot, 40% catch and shoot, 3-point shooter, right? Like, he's shown the versatility. So I look at Max Christie as a guy that I really do think has the likelihood of, I'm not necessarily saying any of these guys will be top 5 talent. Like, I don't necessarily think anybody, again, I'm not going to put the limitation on those guys because you never know. 3-4 years ago, no one thought SGA would be arguably, a top 5, top 10 player. People thought he was just another guy. Like, you never really know till they just, boom, have that spark year, right? But I don't necessarily think and look at any of these guys like, oh man, they're going to be, a top 10 player in the league. Top 20, maybe, hopefully, right? But again, you never know. Like Kobe Bryant, you looked at him his first, like 2 years in the league. You were like, this dude, why did we not only did we not, right? We traded for him, right? Like, so again, and then you saw him just emerge and blossom into, the guy that he'd become. You never know how somebody's going to be until they become that. And I think Max Christie has arguably the highest upside and potential. Now, Dalton Knecht, I think, is right there. I think that there is a huge likelihood that Dalton Knecht may end up being the best out of all of our young guys, even better than Max Christie. I just like Max Christie's defense and defensive versatility, right? Plus, we've seen Max Christie. We haven't really seen Dalton Knecht yet, right? So it's hard to really properly gauge and scale Dalton Knecht. I know we saw him in Summer League and stuff like that. It's not the NBA, right? We've actually seen Max Christie defend Damian Lillard to perfection. We've watched him defend, Devin Booker to perfection. We've watched him matched up at the NBA level against some of the top NBA players in the league and do well, right? So we know what Max Christie and the potential looks like. Dalton Knecht is still a real mystery, but the idea and what we've seen, if it translates into the actual NBA, yes. Talking about an athletic, versatile, 3-level scorer that is better or appears to be, again, we'll see, appears to be better offensively and further ahead than Max Christie is right now. But in Max Christie's defense, he's also 2 years younger. He's actually a little more than 2 years younger. He's like 2 years and a month younger. So to be fair, what does Max Christie look like in 2 years, right? Max Christie has a little more time to continue to grow, develop, and progress. But Dalton Knecht, you're hoping Max Christie is offensively what Dalton Knecht has shown in 2 years, right? Like, that's what you're hoping for. I'm hoping he's further along than Dalton Knecht is right now, right? But my point is that, like, Dalton Knecht is a guy that should be able, from what we've seen, plug right in, play the 2, play the 3, and hit the open shot with efficiency, make plays for himself, make plays for others, potentially be a 15 to 20 point a game guy at some point, right? I'm not necessarily saying it'll be this year, right? These two guys, in my opinion, are the most likely I would put money on to actually be something for the Lakers long term. Then there is guys like Bronny James. Problem with Bronny James is he is incredibly raw. He has shown and has all the tools and all the skill sets he could potentially be a star. Again, I'm not going to put limitations on guys. Also, Bronny James is still incredibly young, right? A lot of people, the way that they talk about him is like he's already 30, when really he's 19 years old. 19, right? I think, though, however, if I'm being honest, is probably closer to at best, Drew Holiday, Derek White type. I think, well, obviously at worst he's out the league, but at worst, probably like a Gabe Vincent, Avery Bradley maybe type, George Hill type, where, just that 3-and-D style point guard where he can, make plays, initiate the offense, but he's really playing off ball primarily rather than a guy that's really, he's the point of attack, kind of like a Dennis Schroeder type, like guys like that, right? An athletic, versatile, you want him in there for defensive assignments. He can hit the occasional 3, right? Like, that's kind of where I look at Bronny realistically. But again, at 19 years old, you never know. This guy, we'll see what he develops into. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, look at LeBron. And Bronny, however you feel about Bronny, man, he has the work ethic. This dude is A1 when it comes to the work ethic. He lives in the gym. I love to see it. He wants to prove the naysayers wrong. He wants to show he's not his dad, right? He wants to show a lot of things, right? Like, I am very excited for him. But it does kind of question, right? Like he's definitely incredibly raw. Incredibly raw. Will he be able to live up to expectations? No one's expecting him to be his dad. His dad is arguably, if not the greatest player ever. That's a lot to live up to, right? But can he be even an all-star one day? I do. I think he has the skill sets. He has the defense. He has his dad's vision and athleticism and IQ, right? He has the tools. Can he just kind of put it all together to a level in which he could be, even if he's not an all-star, but all-star level, right? Like look at a guy like Jamal Murray, right? He's never been an all-star, but he's been all-star level, right? Can Bronny James be that? Again, time will tell. Maxwell Lewis. I was super high on Maxwell Lewis. Not like the level in which Max Christie and stuff like that. Like, I wanted Maxwell Lewis drafted at 17. I actually thought that they would draft him instead of Jalen Hood-Schifino. I was super stoked when they grabbed him in the second round. But, I mean, if we're being honest, he was very disappointing in Summer League, right? Its first quarter in Summer League he looked like, it was like, oh, here we go, watch out. Right, here comes the new Lakers' next star, right? And then that was it, right? He was a completely different player. He still needs a lot of work. It was disappointing. It really was, because, I wasn't expecting him to be a star or anything like that, but you were expecting to see some real growth, right? You were expecting to see some significant change from year one to year two. Like, for example, Max Christie. You saw a real difference between year one Summer League and year two, right? Max Christie was just better than everybody, right? Maxwell Lewis, you were expecting the same thing, and it was just very underwhelming. Still, 22 years old, lots of room for growth, potential, upside, all of that, right? He has the skills, he has the tools, got good size, good length, good bounce, good athleticism, right? You can see the defense when he's locked in and engaged defensively. It's a guy that can put in the work, right? He has the tools to be a very good, very skilled, very gifted player for the Lakers, in my opinion. But, again, it was very disappointing, right? He just, one, couldn't shoot to save his life. And two, to me, he was playing like a guy that's, again, trying to make the team, trying to prove too much, rather than just kind of just play the game. Right? Let the game come to you. And you saw at times when he would do that, he was having success. But then you just see him trying to force the issue at times and just taking ill-advised shots and, just, again, playing like a guy that's not really loose out there. Playing like a guy that's like, man, I really want a contract. Well, you already got a contract. Just go out there and show what you're capable of. Right? Hey, you don't got it tonight shooting the basketball? It's fine. Lock in defensively. Show them all the tools that you have besides just shooting and scoring the basketball, right? Because you're looked at as a 3-and-D guy. Again, another guy that has all the tools to be great. He's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's got the versatility, slot him basically 2 through 4, right? Like, he has everything that you want from a young prospect. But can he really start to take those strides? Can he start to take those real leaps and bounds for the Lakers? I don't know. It's going to be something that we're really going to have to see from Maxwell Lewis. But it's just, again, another guy that it's hard to really go off of and gauge. We haven't really seen a lot of these guys, right? We haven't really seen these guys play meaningful minutes. You see what they're doing in the G League, and Maxwell Lewis is doing great in the G League and all that stuff. But, again, it's the G League, not the NBA, right? So it's hard to really gauge these guys, but from what we have seen, we only have what we have to go off. And what we have to go off on Maxwell Lewis is underwhelming, to put it nicely, right? Lastly, said there were three guys that I thought had real star potential. Talked about Dalton Knecht, talked about Max Christie. The next guy is Armel Traore. He was the guy, if you remember, I was super duper stoked that the Lakers ended up grabbing. He's the guy that I was like, hey, Blake Henson, he's going to be great. He's going to be ready now, and I hyped up everybody, Bronny, Knecht, all that stuff. And I made that multiple videos about Armel Traore. And I was like, this is the guy that could potentially be our two-way Jared Vanderbilt at worst. Talk about a guy that's 6'9". He has like a 7'1", 7'2" wingspan, something crazy like that. This guy is big, can essentially slot 3 through 5 for you. A guy that you've already seen the defensive versatility. You've already seen what he can do. He's 21 years old, so very young. Right? Lots of room, lots of growth, lots of upside, lots of potential. He has a brother in Nolan Traore, who it may end up even being the number one pick. Well, probably not the number one pick because there is a lot of hype on Cooper Flagg, but could end up very well being the number 2 prospect. So, like, it's going to be interesting. He's going to have that motivation from little brother coming in. But Armel Traore, man, he was great with the Mets. It's just, Victor Wembanyama is Victor Wembanyama, right? But you just see the versatility, the hustle, the motor, the energy, the defensive versatility. He's out there defending guards and then switching on centers and just, man, like I am incredibly hyped on. Showed the ability to stretch the floor, knock down the three, can make the pass, make the play. Like, this is a guy that could literally be, I don't know if he'll be as elite, because again, Jared Vanderbilt is arguably the best on-ball defender in the league. He very well might be the best on-ball defender in the league. But, like, can he be like an OG on an Ubi? Right? Like, 6'9", 7'1", 7'2" wingspan, defend pretty much every position on the basketball court, knock down the three with some efficiency, put the ball on the deck, go get a bucket. Right? If he could be even half of what OG is, then the Lakers, he's, especially as an undrafted guy, Lakers got themselves a steal. So to me, Armel Traore, Max Christie, Dalton Knecht are the three guys that I think are most likely to be something for the Lakers. Jalen Hood-Schifino is another guy I want to talk about at some point, but he's still rehabbing, right? He's still working on himself. He's still working on just kind of getting back on the basketball court. He's another guy that is incredibly hard to gauge, and why I am kind of reluctant to really talk about him yet, because I want to see where he kind of goes. And I also think that there is still a very big likelihood that he gets traded. Max Christie, Dalton Knecht, Bronny James, obviously. Max Lewis, I don't think they're going to trade him. And then like these guys, again, there was kind of criterias for this list. I've talked about Jalen Hood-Schifino before. If you want me to kind of, maybe make an update video and tack him onto this, let me know. But that's why I kind of left him off this list, because the injury concerns, the trade potential, and then just, is he going to ever get an opportunity, is kind of why I'm a little reluctant to talk about him. But I would put him in that, like, I'd put him kind of in between the Max Christie and Bronny James category, where I really like his size, his versatility. I think at worst he's just a two-way guy for the Lakers, rotation piece. I think best case he actually becomes like a star level, because he is 6'6", could be your point guard. But we haven't really seen anything from him, so it's hard again to gauge whether he's going to be something or not. So that's why I kind of left him off the list. But if you want me to go more in depth, again, I've talked a lot about Jalen Hood-Schifino lately. So if you want to kind of hear my thoughts on him, go check out that video. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Fast question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with my points? Do you agree with kind of my list on this? Do you not? Is there other guys? Would you like me to talk about other guys? I feel whatever thoughts are. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.